Welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I thought I would talk a little bit more about some of the things going on behind the scenes for Star Citizen. We'll kind of start off with 317 and then go into some of the other sprints that are still going on for the game. So, as you know, 317 is right around the corner. It's going to be a lot bigger and better than I think anybody originally predicted. Originally they took out a bunch of stuff from the roadmap for 317, and it really got a lot of people concerned, including myself. No lies. I was a little worried that it was going to be a little light, but I was also thinking that a little lighter patch means that it would have less bugs. It'd be more playable. And the initial Evocati test, that was the case. It was much more stable. As what I hear it right now, it still has quite a few bugs, and they're not ready to put it into Wave 1 PTU yet. But it's close. It's close. So, let's go into what we can expect in 317 shortly, and then what they have in the way of the sprints that are going on right now. Okay, so first thing they have is the DNA head textures update. Again, more faces that you can use, more hair, etc. Better looking, better graphics for the DNA head architecture, textures, etc. So if you want to customize your character a little bit more, which is completely meaningless at this point in time, you can do that. Second thing, they have Lorville's Hospital, Maria Pure of Heart, that is ready to go into the game. It's, of course, located in Lorville. This is going to be great for you guys who want to hang out around Hurston. I am one of those people that likes being around Hurston. I feel like Hurston is the center of all the action in Stanton right now. You got the bounty hunting stuff, great trade routes. It's just, to me, it seems like the great spot to be. Now, there's not a ton of weapons available in the Hurston area, but you can always pick those off of the dead enemies that you could make in some of these bounty missions, like ground-based or, something like that. So, Lorville's Hospital, Maria Pure of Heart, is going to be in the game for sure in 317. Space station clinics with variations. So what they did is they just went in, changed the way that those medical clinics, those clinics on all the space stations above the planets, they changed the way it looks a little bit here and there to make them varied and not the same everywhere you go. Then they have the AI coffee shop vendor, which is like the bartender, only it's for coffee. Let's move on. Gameplay. The mining gadgets. I did not talk about this last time when I talked about 317. This is definitely something I'm super excited for. The mining gadgets make solo mining a little easier, and it makes group mining very efficient. You'll get these little gadgets that you can buy that you can EVA out or walk out and put on a rock, activate it, and it'll make the rock more stable or easier to break or whatever it is that you're trying to go for. You can absolutely use those gadgets to help you mine the rocks. So definitely going to be important, and I look forward to testing this out and seeing how my mining group in Texas Space Navy works with the mining gadgets, because they've already got everything down to an art. The next thing we have is going to be ship-to-ship refueling. This has also been committed to 317. So the Starfare has a purpose. It's not just a big ship anymore, a big slow ship that can't move very well. No, the Starfare actually will be able to refuel other ships now. So I'm looking forward to trying this out as well on both sides, the one that is buying the fuel and the one that is selling the fuel. I know that you're going to be able to transfer fuel from the main space stations from around all of Stanton, and then you're going to be able to pick whether you want quantum or hydrogen in those fuel tanks, and then go into space and take, missions. Like if somebody puts out a beacon, they need fuel because they ran out, you can go and service their ship, so to speak, and be able to give them some fuel. You could choose the price, and they will pay it, and you'll transfer the fuel over. And now there are some things that can happen when you're refueling, so it's going to be an art as well to try not to blow up somebody's ship or to hemorrhage fuel. So that ought to be a lot of fun. Then we have selling items to shops. Another big thing that a lot of people have been waiting for, including myself. You know, you do a lot of these cave missions or protect missions or evict illegal occupants, and you end up acquiring a lot of goods. So it's time to sell those goods, but we have nowhere to sell them right now in the game. So in 3.17, we are finally going to be able to sell these goods at the different places around Stanton. Something I would love to bring up is where some of the weapons are going to be available around Stanton. And I haven't seen too many people do videos on that particular thing, but it is in the patch notes that where the weapons will be located. So let me break out my list here for you and tell you the different places. So we'll actually start with the places and tell you what weapons are available there. Now this is a couple of builds old, so bear with me. And the reason why I'm bringing this list up is because you will have to take certain weapons to certain places to get a max value for it. And the more weapons you have, the lower the price will get as you start dumping a bunch of those at that location. So it is kind of a dynamic economy. So Area 18's Cubby Blast, you'll have the LH-86, the R-97, the C-54, the Devastator, the Custodian, the P-4, the BR-2. Then at Area 18 Center Mass, you'll have the S-71, the C-54, the LH-86, the Arclight, the Lumen 5, the P-8SC, the BR-2, the P-4, the S-38. Arc L1, you're going to have the P-4, the P-8, the Devastator, and the Custodian. And then at Port Olisar, the S-38, the P-4, the B-2, or BR-2, P-8, Arclight, Lumen 5, Devastator, Custodian. Orison, you're only going to have the LH-86 and the R-97. Crew L1, you'll have the BR-2, the P-8, the Arclight, the Gallant, one of my favorite guns, and the Coda. By the way, the Custodian is probably, I like it just as much or more than the Gallant now. But anyways, Grim Hex, the S-38, the BR-2, the LH-86, the S-71, the R-97, the C-54, the Lumen 5, the Coda, the Devastator, and the Custodian. At Crew L5, one of my favorite places to go to buy stuff, is the Arclight, the Gallant, the Karna, another great gun, and the Custodian. Then at her L1, you have the BR-2, the P-8, the Arclight, the Gallant, the Ravager, the Devastator, and the Custodian. Her L2 is going to be the P-4, the Arclight, the Gallant, the Karna, and the Devastator. Then at her L4, you'll have the P-4, the P-8, the Arclight, the Gallant, the Ravager. Then at her L5, you'll have the P-4, the Gallant, and the Custodian. Then at New Babbage, you'll have the S-38, the P-4, the BR-2, the P-8, the LH-86, the S-71, the C-54, the Arclight, and the Lumen 5. And finally, at Mike L1, you'll have the P-4, the BR-2, the P-8, the Arclight, the Gallant, the Devastator, and the Custodians. Now, sights will only be up to 2 times optic at any one store. So if your gun that you like the most isn't on that list, you're probably going to want to buy as many of them as you can right now and have them. Or you're going to have to find them in loot somewhere in the verse. And they might be able to sell them for more than 50% at one of these shops, but it's doubtful because, well, who knows? Because, you know, they said that you can sell up to 90% if the shop already sells that particular item. I digress. Let's get back to what we can expect in 3.17. You've got ships and vehicles. The RSI Scorpius is not yet committed to, and neither is the Hull A. The Hull A and the Scorpius may not make it into 3.17. Expect them in 3.17.1 when we have Fleet Week. That's my guess. So when May rolls around, you know, around Memorial Day here in the US, you're going to get the Scorpius and the Hull A. A little disappointing, but it is what it is, and that's what you could probably expect. And the final piece, big piece, that they have listed on the release view is the river on Microtech. So it'll be the first river in-game. You'll be able to traverse through it, under it. You'll be able to fly hover vehicles over the top of it. So lots of possibilities there, and I'm looking forward to testing that out. I'm also looking forward to testing out the Lorville Lake now that we have all sorts of water in the game. So, shall we go into some of the other stuff that they have on the roadmap that they didn't really talk about? And the deliverables that were added were the Crusader Genesis Starliner, with one dev working on that. My guess is it's some sort of a reconcepting a little bit, trying to get the metrics right. Then the Foliage Shader, Misk Hull B. Again, this one is probably pretty far along, I would imagine, but I don't know. The Ocean Shader improvements, and then an unannounced vehicle that 3 devs have been working on. Deliverables that were removed were the destructible environments. That makes a lot of people sad because we want to see trees blow up. We want to see habitats blow up. We want to see things blow up. Yeah, pretty much. Everybody wants to see some stuff blow up. Then there's the terrain snow displacement was removed, and the unified login queue was also removed. Deliverables that have been updated is the bug fixing and tech debt, cargo system refactor, cave archetypes, commodity kiosk, the Drake Corsair, the ecosystem enhancements, the lava tech, a Lorville cityscape, miscellaneous support, move planet to compute, NPC scheduler service, the Origin X1, the pyro system planet and mission setup, the rest stop hangar replacements, the rivers and basins, roads, RSI Apollo, salvage tier 0, Squadron 42 vehicle support, the Temple Ranger, and 3 unannounced vehicles in one underground facility. There's quite a few still ongoing sprints. I'm not going to go into those right now, but just know that there are a lot, and you could probably remember them from previous weeks. So there you have it. That's what we have so far for 3.17 and what's going on in the background. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this peaceful fly through, the asteroids around Yella. I thought it was a cool little way to get a little extra, something in there. Just peaceful for a change. They play in the background of one of these videos. Let me know if you liked it in the comments down below. Please be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. It really helps me on the algorithm. Also, please feel free to leave a comment and check out my YouTube members page section. It really helps if you guys become members, and you can do that, I think, for as little as $1. And then my Patreon as well. All that'll be linked in the description of the video. And if you're looking for a new org to get into, check out my org. It's Texas. That will be linked in the description as well. Make sure you put in an application on the RSI website and on our Gilded. If you're new to the game and it looks like a game you want to get into, check out my referral code as well. I could definitely appreciate that, as I'm hoping to one day hit 1042. I have a long ways to go. So please help me out there as well. With that said, I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.